comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp to text line displayed on the screen. We'll make a time and read your messages out for you. You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, and whatnot on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter at Pan African Television. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. My name is Justice Appiah, and tonight on Hot News, we're looking at a litany of issues. We are looking at some few issues that are bordering on the nation. The very first issue we'll be looking at is the withdrawal of military attachments from the Speaker of Parliament. Minority in Parliament is actually saying that the withdrawal of Speaker's military attachment is politically motivated. And I'll be reading some few issues on that for you. But security experts are also saying that the withdrawal of military attachments from the Speaker of Parliament is not wrong. Well, others are also, having a divergent opinion on, the withdrawal of security personnel from the Speaker of Parliament. Muntaka has actually spoken, Honorable Muntaka has actually spoken, and he is saying that if the executive wants, they can withdraw all their security personnel, they can, seize their salaries, they can do whatever it is they want to do to them, but they are not perturbed. It won't get them, weakened, but rather will strengthen them and all of that. Why are they saying so? One of the issues we'll also be looking at is the hike in fuel prices. Today, if you check Total, there has been increment, there has been a hike in the prices of fuel. We'll also be looking at that. But let me read out what the minority in Parliament has been saying. Minority in Parliament says the withdrawal of Speaker Alban Bagbin's military attachment is a politically motivated action to diminish his confidence. According to the minority, the calculated move is due to Mr. Bagbin's persistent bid to impartially and independently steer the affairs of the legislative arm of government. Describing the move as shameful, the opposition accused Akufo-Addo government of acting in bad faith. Quote, the minority shall hold the government of President Akufo-Addo responsible should the security of retired Honorable Alban Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament, be compromised in any way. Parts of the statement signed by Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu read. This comes in the wake of a leaked document from the Ghana Armed Forces directing the withdrawal of some 4 soldiers from the office of the Speaker because they were assigned there without proper procedure. The GAF's Chief of Staff, Major General N.P. Ando, said WO2, Apugiba Awini David, Sergeant Agle Prosper, WO1, Jafaru Bunwura, and Sergeant Bonnie, Prince's attachment to the Bagbin's office, to Mr. Bagbin's office since he assumed office on January 7 last year is improper. Quote, it is humbly requested that the personnel are withdrawn with effect from 14th January 2022 while efforts are made to regularize the attachment. The January 11 letter stated. However, the lawmakers of the National Democratic Congress NDC ordered for the immediate withdrawal of the said letter. The minority further argued that there are members of the executive other than the president and the vice president who have at various times had soldiers attached to their offices, citing the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfrey Dame and the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jen Mensah. The NDC caucus questioned why soldiers providing security for Speaker, whose status is above the mentioned executives. Quote, the only logical conclusion a reasonable mind would draw with respect to the failure of government to indicate the nature of the procedure supposedly breached by Mr. Speaker's outfit is that proper procedure was followed, for which reason the military high command had no difficulty attaching the military personnel in question to his office. I've been joined in the studio by Awal Mohammed, who is the head of PR at YA. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
How you doing? It's been a while.
Thank you.
How is YA?
Yes, YE is doing very well. We just started, the year. And,
Right.
we have ended 1 year. So 5 years in all since I joined YE.
Awal is also a member of a New Patriotic Party communications team. He's a big man, a very big man. Anyway, are you going for any position in the party?
Not yet. I have not decided on that yet.
Yeah.
As a politician, never say never.
Right.
So definitely, if I decide on any position, I will definitely tell you. Pan-African will be the first show I'll say it on.
Yeah,
so definitely.
Anytime you declare your intention.
Yes. But for now, we're focused on the polling station elections, which will come off. It was supposed to come on the 20th of this month, but unfortunately, it has been postponed to 20th of next month.
Right.
That is the day that we will start. It will take like 1 week to 2 weeks to finish. After that, we'll do the polling station. That is the polling station. After that, we'll do the constituency, then the regional, then the national. So definitely, if someone has even ambition,
right,
the person can still shelve it and wait until everything is done.
Thank you so much. Also in the studio is a very good friend and another brother, Usman Ayariga. He's a member of the National Democratic Congress communications team. Usman, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
How are you doing, my brother? I met you last week.
Yes, we thank God for life.
Yes.
Fuel prices are, killing us, and it's draining our pockets, and it's actually weakening our efforts to live a better life. But by and large, we have God, and we trust that things will get better. But from all indications, it doesn't look like things are going to get better. So we just wait and see what happens.
Politicians are always complaining.
Oh, no, it's not about complaints. I mean, just this morning, fuel prices went up. I don't know whether my brother doesn't know. Okay, maybe he doesn't really buy fuel like us. So
I buy fuel from Goyle, and Goyle has not.
So he would.
But have you seen that of Total?
Yes, if you check the largest, okay, we'll talk about it because it's part of the topics, but I know it is the biggest oil marketing company in Ghana. Right. Well, they have not increased it, and I know Binab is also below what even Goyle sells.
I see.
So definitely, it depends on where you're buying it.
No, the last time I bought fuel, it was at 7.0. So let's leave it at that.
Very well.
I bought it just yesterday at Soto Mambo area, and it was around 6 point something. So definitely.
Anyway, me I do go. So I mean, I'm waiting. But Osman, are you also going for any position in your party? Though nominations have not been opened yet. But
well, for now we are all working for the party. Everyone is working for the party. So if the time is right and the people think you should lead them in a certain position or a particular position, why not? Leadership is all about the people calling on you, or sometimes you even put yourself up for that. But for now, all we are doing is working for the party to try and salvage the system.
I saw your poster.
Right.
Poster? Oh no.
Poster? Oh no. I see. Because I saw someone saying that, I met someone and he told me that Osman is going for deputy youth organizer. I don't know if that is the case. And
well, we have the youth calling, so we are still.
Would you respond to the call of the
youth? Of course, if the call is overwhelming, why not? I mean, leadership.
But it has already been overwhelming, where posters are flying on social media and.
Let's talk about the fuel prices. Oh yes, I will respond to that call.
Right, right. Whenever you respond to the call, just
I'll let you know.
I mean, of course, you're a brother, and I'll support you any day. But I'll start with you on a statement issued by the Minority Caucus in Parliament over the withdrawal of military attachment to the office of the Speaker of Parliament. How is that wrong?
Well, first and foremost, let me say good evening to your viewers, and just wish them. I pray they are all doing well with this current harsh weather and the COVID also roaming about. We just have to play safe and be safe and try as much as possible not to contract any disease that could trigger or weaken the immune system. Now, my preliminary suggestions or my preliminary comments on this matter is that the way and manner in which the optics are being played has rather turned out to be quite unfortunate. You understand? Because we are letting it seem as though there's one pitch which is supposed to be the executive pitching the camp against the legislature, and not just the entire legislature, but the minority part of the legislature coupled with the speaker, because it is very obvious that the speaker was born out of the NDC, which I think that picture shouldn't be created for the smooth running of the democracy of this country. But if we continue to paint that kind of picture, then we'll find ourselves in a very unfortunate situation. Now, I have chanced various letters and various releases so far as this whole security issue is concerned. I think it was the first letter or statement from the Ghana Armed Forces saying that there has not been any security detail that has been attached to the Speaker's office coming from the Ghana Armed Forces.
Right.
Then we see another letter, which was also leaked to the media or through social media, which was a letter, I think, somewhere in 2021 January, which was actually written from the Speaker's office to the Chief of Defense Staff, confirming the number of persons. I think there was a part of it that actually even said they should replace one name with another name. You understand? So first and foremost, you have the Ghana Armed Forces saying that no security has been attached to the office. So nothing has been withdrawn from the office. Then we have another letter coming out to tell us that somewhere back in 2021, security details were actually attached to the office, and there was a letter confirming that, where they actually asked that one person be replaced with another person. So first and foremost, there is a problem in the communication from the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, if the security detail had already been attached to the Speaker's office, why are we now, or why is the Ghana Armed Forces now at this time, where the optics do not seem right, where the timing doesn't seem right, where there seem to be some form of a rift between especially the Speaker's office and the executive, especially with all these e-levy issues flying here and there, all of a sudden the executive feels that, in fact, hitherto he shouldn't even have gotten the military attachment attached to the office, so that we want to withdraw it. Yes, what they are saying may be right, but let's look at the timing and the optics involved in all of these things. Is it right? That is one. Does it seem right? That is two. And is it wrong for the Speaker of Ghana to have military attachment to his office? I say absolutely no. There's absolutely nothing wrong if the Speaker has written to the Ghana Armed Forces asking for security persons through the Ghana Armed Forces to be added to his security persons. We have people who have not even gotten to the level of Speaker of Parliament, wrong with military men. We have private individuals in this country who have written to the Ghana Armed Forces, and you have military men guarding them in their homes. In their homes, businessmen in this country have military men guarding them in their homes. So what are we talking about? Are you saying the Speaker of Parliament hasn't attained the height of also having security men or military men if he wants, or he thinks that military men should be added to his already police detail attached to him? I don't think there's anything absolutely wrong with that. But even in addition to that, yes.
To some critics, what they are saying is that withdrawal of the military attachment is not also wrong. In fact, the job of the military should rather be the job of the police. The police should
exactly, Justice. I've told you see, that's why I started from somewhere. I told you one. There's the optics, and there's whether it is right or wrong, and there's the why did it even start, and why are we withdrawing it? You understand? There's nothing wrong if we, from the beginning, had said that we are not attaching any military officers to the Speaker's office. Deal with the already police persons we have. So why did you even accept in the first place to detail to his office military men? And I'm coming.
No, yes, okay. If you listen to what the Ghana Armed Forces is actually saying, they are saying that those military officers were not properly assigned to the office of the Speaker of Parliament, hence the decision to withdraw the military attachment. This is a reasonable...
So for 1 year running, for 1 year, the Ghana Armed Forces is trying to tell us that they were so incompetent that for 1 year, they didn't know that they had 4 or 5 of their officers not properly assigned to a person. Come on, let us respect ourselves in this country. Let us not try to insult anybody by just speaking English. What are you telling me? You are telling me that people of this company can be attached to maybe Parliament House, and in this company you know for 1 year? Just is that what we are telling ourselves in this country? A whole institution in charge of security, intelligence, and protection is telling us that for 1 year, 5 of their officers has been assigned to the Speaker's office, and they think that it wasn't properly done and they were not aware. What are they telling us? Please, they shouldn't, in trying to defend themselves, but try to exhibit high level of incompetence. I don't want to use that word. I don't want to say they are incompetent. But if that is what they are telling us, then that is a height of incompetence.
What's the conviction of the minority that the decision to withdraw the military attachment is a politically motivated one?
Well, that's why I started by telling you that, one, there's the optics, two, there's the timing. Now, the minority is at liberty to believe that because of actions A, B, C, D, that is why all of a sudden the executive has decided to withdraw the protection the speaker was enjoying from the military. You understand? And we are free to believe so. We just finished a very chaotic session last year, where the majority was unable to pass their E-level, which of course they will bring back this year. You understand? So if all of a sudden we see certain things come out of the speaker's office being withdrawn, and I saw the statement from the majority, I think that the statement is ludicrous, is eccentric, and it attracts just barrage of laughter. And I'll tell you why. I mean, if you read their statement, it tells the fact that, and even the Speaker of Parliament travels with a helicopter to his constituency. He was given the military jet to go to his region. He was given the presidential jet to go to Nigeria. Come on, let us not reduce the politicking, or let us not reduce the office of the speaker. In this same country, people who, I don't want to use the word, people who are not even close to being the office of MP or anything, use the helicopters. People rent it at their own expense privately to carry the remains of their loved ones to their various areas. People do it. So let us not let it look like if Speaker Bagbin is also enjoying some of the things that comes to the office, or the privilege that comes to the office. Now all of a sudden the majority comes out with a press release trying to now outline all those things just to court some disaffection for the speaker. It's uncalled for. It's unfortunate that the whole majority in Parliament would put up a statement, and this is the most important thing, or some of the important things we'll even put up there. Now, let me tell you what I was saying. Now, what is wrong if the Speaker of Parliament? I've seen CEOs, I've seen presidential staffers, we have seen even DCs who have military men as bodyguards.
Where?
I am not here to mention names, but I'm coming. No, I've seen CEOs. I have seen CEOs move with military men. I'm coming. Even those who are not CEOs, I've seen them move with military men. And they just ended, what do you call it? Supreme Court's case, the Supreme Court petition. Did you see the president lawyers move with military men holding their bags? This lawyer, Yao Pong, wasn't a picture out there of a military man behind him holding his bag as his aide? Who is he in this government? What is he in this government? He's not even a DCE. So don't, and this is the very obvious one. There are some I have personally met with military men being their bodyguards, holding their bags, following them to wherever they are going. So I don't push me to mention their names here. You understand? I've mentioned one, which everyone saw the picture. You understand? Some of them I know personally. So, but if the time comes and you push, and we are left with no option, we will put up names. They mentioned the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General is just a Minister of State. Why is he wrong with a military man as a bodyguard? His name was mentioned. You understand? So don't say that we don't have people out there roaming with military men as bodyguards. Go to the Jubilee House, and you will see presidential staffers even having military men as their drivers. So let us not pretend as if people are not enjoying certain things, that their offices is not even up to the office of the Speaker. The Speaker of Parliament, for crying out loud, is the number 3 of the state. In the absence of the President, in the absence of the Vice President, the Constitution demands that the Speaker of Parliament acts as President.
Right. So
if the Speaker of Parliament requests for military detail to be given to his office, he's not saying give it to me because I am Bagbin. Give it to the office. If the president or the executive at the time thinks that we do not want to give it to you, that is fair in life. We can understand that. We can agree with that. Okay. But you don't give him that security detail. Then when you think that maybe the speaker is not acting in a way that should inure to your benefit, all of a sudden you start pulling some of the benefits that has been enjoyed by him and now putting it out there. He even traveled with a helicopter, he traveled with the Air Force plane, he traveled with this. I mean, that is ludicrous. That is uncalled for. That is cheap politicking from the majority. So if they think that the best way to go is to withdraw the security, well, it's God that watches over us. And Speaker Bagbin is still strong, fit, ready to work as a speaker, whether they take the security there or whether they withdraw the security. But we just have to let it be known that the way and manner they are handling this issue it's not the way to go. You understand? Because there's absolutely nothing wrong if the number 3 of the land seeks to request for some protection. Even private citizens who have not even run for district assembly elections are enjoying. What difference does it make?
I'll come back to you. Viewers, you are still watching Hot News right here on Pan African Television with me, Justice Appiah. Keep your messages coming in on our WhatsApp stroke text line. I'll make a time and read those messages out for you. If you're watching us on Facebook, please share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can share the Facebook Live for other people to watch, tonight's edition of the program. You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, and whatnot on our Facebook Live post. I'll make a time and read all those out for you. Now, let me come to you a while. The majority in Parliament has also issued a statement. They've queried the Speaker of Parliament on why he even traveled without, informing the President of the land. They as well questioned the Speaker of Parliament on why he used, is it the helicopter or something and all those things. How is that wrong? Apart from, the fact that he was assigned a military attachment, is that even wrong in the first place? Should this even be an issue, a topic of discussion, where a security detail will be withdrawn from that of the Speaker's office?
I think you should be asking the NDC this question.
I see.
Because the first thing that happened, the withdrawal, it is the NDC that started talking about it. It is the NDC that even leaked it. I don't think they have read the statement. My brother didn't even read the statement. Because if he had read the statement, he wouldn't have made all these excuses. The military statement that withdrew them. They never said that they were withdrawing them. If you check the statement, they said they will want to withdraw them and regularize their stay. What is that? Check the statement. They said it is humbly requested that the personnel are withdrawn with immediate effect from January 14th, while efforts are being made to regularize the attachment. They were attached without regularization. They said, oh, let's regularize. So why will this come out?
Is the Ghana Armed Forces trying to say that after 1 year, they have now realized that they did not regularize
during the time he requested for them? He requested whilst we were doing the election petition.
Okay.
That was when he requested for it. At that time, the security situation in this country, that it is not really, it is very tense at that time because someone is challenging the elections. And you know how he even was elected. So definitely around that time when he requested, they willingly gave them out. For 1 year, they said, come back. The chief of staff said, come back, let's regularize your stay there, your attachment. So what is wrong with that? Why will this have to come out? To the extent that MPs will go on Twitter. I saw the first person that did that was this guy, this MP, Roxanne Dafiamepo.
Right.
These are people who started sharing that we want to compromise the security of the Speaker of Parliament. When they said, we have withdrawn you, we want to regularize your stay before you regularize the attachment. Regularization can take even within a day. They can regularize and move them back. Again, the reason the minority raised all these issues, they never questioned why he used the presidential jet and other things. They only said it to buttress a point. They did not say that why did he use that? The military, the helicopters and so on. They never said that, but they were telling you that because his security is paramount to us as a country. When he was even going to his village, we take helicopters to send him to his village. Tell me which Speaker of Parliament was sent to his village in an helicopter. Tell me, which one? When they came, MPs were lying through their teeth, saying that the former speakers had military attachment. When this is not true, it has never happened. Bamford Addo did not have any security attachment, the military attachment. Bagman has the highest police officers around him. Highest in the history of this country since 1957. He has 14 police officers, including the 4 military people he requested for. 4 will be with him wherever he will be. 5 will be in his house. 5 will be surrounding his office. 14 police officers. And he needed 4 military people. And no one even is questioning why he's using military personnel. No one is questioning that. He said, let's regularize it. But a lot of people, even you sitting here, as a Ghanaian, can go and push for and tell us reasons why you need a military, and you'll be given.
Right.
It happens. It is not something that you say that is even illegal. So if he is even requesting for something like this, it is nothing. But you see, when you seem to play politics out of it and say that his security is being compromised, somebody with 14 police officers, when you only withdraw 4 military and say that you want to regularize their stay, you are compromising his security.
What prevents the Ghana Armed Forces, once again, from just doing the regularization without necessarily...
I don't work with the Ghana Armed Forces. This is what they are saying. This is what they are telling people. But we are doing analysis of the aftermath, right? This is Ghana Armed Forces. They know how they do their deployment.
Very well.
It is possible they can even be deployed for 2 years without regularizing, later regularize, because the urgency of it will demand that. So they have done that. They said, let's regularize. I don't see why someone will have to leak this out. For MPs to go and start talking about it, to be insulting the president, to virtually insulting the president, that the president is even politically motivated.
How is that an insult?
But when you say the president will want to compromise the security of the Speaker of Parliament, this is a Speaker of Parliament who was saying that he's number 3. This is someone who is power drunk, if I should say that.
Is it a constitution that's made him number 3, or he's the one saying he's number 3?
So someone who is power drunk know that he's number 3 is leaving this country without telling the person that he will become number 3 when the person is not there.
Where from somebody being power drunk? Is it a constitution that's made him
I'm saying that you admitted that if the president and vice president are not there, he's supposed to be there. So here, if you are not there, your photographer one is not there. Maybe that Muslim lady who is one of your producers. If she is the next person, Latifa will leave without telling the 2 of you that she'll be leaving. So when you are not there, how does she even act? So this is something that the majority is asking. He did that in 2021.
But no
one even raised any issue about it. But because this thing has happened, we will have to tell the world that this is the kind of person we're dealing with.
But
who has 14 police officers?
Where in the Constitution?
It's telling us that if you withdraw 4 out of 18, his security will be compromised.
But where in the 1992 Constitution has it been stated that if the Speaker of Parliament is traveling, he should tell the President?
Oh, so you want it to be stated before you are able to? I gave you the simple scenario that the 3 of us are here. You are leading.
So he did
if I am not there,
he do something wrong.
So if I am not there, if you're not there, I am supposed to be the next person in charge. If I am not there, he is supposed to be the next person. Then he leaves unceremoniously without telling us. So I leave, you leave, and what will happen? Chaos. And do you need a constitution to regularize this?
Right.
Do you need a constitution to dictate this? So you see, I think this thing is worrying because it is becoming political, and that is the reason the minority had to, one after the other, tell you the kind of things that this man, the speaker, is enjoying. But it seems he is not grateful, because if he's grateful, you have 14 police officers, none of them is going anywhere. The 4 will be with you wherever you find yourself. You need additional 4 military people, like 8 people to be with you. Even the vice president travels with about 5-6 police officers. The rest are ambulance, the ambulance service, the doctors, the mechanics, and so on. When you see the 5 convoy the vice president moves with, about 5 police officers and his ADC, and that's all. But you have 4 at any point in time. And these are still there. And you come out to leak this out, to tell the world that your military details have been withdrawn. Meanwhile, they said, we're withdrawing it to regularize their stay. So I think this is needless. We shouldn't even be making everything political. This is a speaker that we felt that at least if you're a student of history and politics, you know that this is someone who has gone through the mill, who has all the experience. He has seen this Fourth Republic. He has seen almost all the speakers. None of the speakers is enjoying what he's enjoying today. This is a speaker who will even contribute to debate. He sometimes forgets about himself that he is even the Speaker of Parliament. You remember when this LGBTQ thing came? He went ahead to tell them that bring it early so that I can even push it and push it and make it a law. When you know that you can't even do that, you are there to just rule. So I think he should slow down. We just started this thing. He's just 1 year in office. But the way he is going, he wants us to tag him as a political speaker. And that is not good. We have seen political speakers in this country.
What has he done to deserve such
Look at these things.
name?
How many people have granted interviews? How many speakers from 92 up to today have sit on radio, grant interviews, malign people, tell people things, and even dictate to ministers to do something? Can a speaker just call the minister and tell him, go and withdraw that your statement? A Speaker of Parliament call the executive to direct the executive to do something. You remember, he forgets about himself that he is a Speaker of Parliament too.
Who has he directed?
The road minister.
But the road minister engaged in an alleged illegality.
It doesn't lie with the speaker to do that. What happens to the laws of separation of powers?
Okay.
Then what is that? We have a legislature, we have executive, and we have judiciary. So you have the president telling the chief justice to exhibit, to do something. We'll be in a chaos situation. That is why the speaker, as head of legislature, cannot order the executive around. This executive took an executive decision, but he did that. So I'm saying that
neither can the executive also take certain decisions, implement certain decisions without the approval of Parliament.
Yes, certain decisions.
Yes,
but not in that case.
And in that case, I mean,
so if you think he is doing anything illegal, there are processes. You don't come out to tell him, to order him. You can express your opinion that what he has done isn't right. That can be done. But you can never tell him to go and withdraw because you don't order him to do anything.
Because in that scenario, that was
but you see,
policy.
We have
a budget.
These
and
are
the budget was not even given parliamentary approval.
Does he approve budget? Does the speaker approve budget? He doesn't approve budget.
Parliament had to do it.
Exactly. So Parliament hasn't done it, and someone has done something.
So what right did the road minister, you know?
So what right does he also have to direct him? It's about directing him. Go and withdraw when you don't have the right to do that. By law, you can't do that. By convention, you can't do that anywhere in the world.
Right.
For the speaker to tell the executive to do something. So he forgets himself that he's even Speaker of Parliament. So I believe that what they have done, they will have to bow their head in shame.
Right.
Because they have caused all this. This is not something that we should even be discussing. If they had not leaked it, if they had not started granting interviews, if they had not even organized press conference to bastardize the government, to say that the government wants to compromise the security of the speaker when he has 14 police officers of his choice. Are we in the military regime?
Don't you also see any sense in what they are saying? That because, well, this speaker would not, you know, kowtow to the whims and caprices of government.
So someone wants to kill him?
Well, I don't know.
So what? Then what?
But that is what the minority thinks.
So what is even the basis of them saying that because he doesn't want to kowtow, he has been given 14 officers to work with him. Again, he has been using the helicopter to go to his hometown because we don't want him to even drive from Accra to his hometown.
Right.
We give him helicopter and send him to his house. When he was called to Nigeria, we gave him the presidential jet that Okujeto Ablakwa never told the people of this country. But whoever used it, Okujeto Ablakwa will come and tell us that somebody has used the jet. But when he used it, because it suits them, it's okay. He has never mentioned it that the speaker had even ever used it. But the speaker used it. I want them to come and tell us that the speaker didn't use it. The speaker didn't use all these things. My brother is saying that why will they come out to say? They are saying it to buttress the point that his security is paramount to the people of this country. And that's the reason why we give him the private jet. We give him helicopters to even send him so that he will be able to be free to be able to at least be the speaker of this country. That's what we're doing. So his security is paramount. His security is very important to us. Even if tomorrow he meets the military, they will regularize them and send them back, because even private individuals can still go and justify the need for them to have the military to be attached to them, to work with them. It happens.
Right. Are you done on that matter?
On Jane Mensah and the other people, as I said, even private individuals have the right to do that. You remember the officer who was unfortunately killed at the Central Region area.
Right. I mean, Major Maxwell Mahama.
Yes, they were guarding a private installation.
Okay.
Yes, so you can still go and do that. Again, look at Jane Mensah. That time, the destiny of this country was in her hands. That time, when she says she need a military attachment, she had only 2 military people moving around with her. You saw them. It's even one person at the court. Then you see the military man coming out. So if he requests for them and it has been given for 1 year, and they said they are withdrawing them to regularize, why will you have any issues with this one when he has been with them, including the police officers, 18 security personnel with him? Even with that, we still fly him to wherever he wants to go, and you're telling us that we're compromising his security. So you're only doing partisan politics.
You think that this is not to compromise the security of, I mean,
these are people of his own choice.
Okay.
The police officers cannot just send anyone there. You will have to scrutinize and say that this is the person I want. If you know anyone within the police service, you can still request for that person to be brought to your office. Right. So the 14 people are people of his own choice. So why will someone just compromise on your security when we're doing all these things for you?
Right. Thank you so much for the submission. Viewers, you can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. If you are not following us, you can go on Facebook, search for Pan African Television, like our page. You get our notifications. You can watch tonight's edition of the program. But once that is done, please share the live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. I'm sure, Usman, you would want to respond to some of the things.
Well, I'll just respond to...
once you are done responding to him, you also have your bite on the hike in fuel prices.
Yeah. I would want to respond to him, and I don't know where my brother is getting his figure from, but obviously it's a figure that has been cooked from the deepest pot of the NPP's propaganda.
Right.
The speaker doesn't have 14 police officers at his disposal. That is falsehood. That is not true. That is propaganda cooked by my brother here and his NPP propagandists from the deepest pot of the NPP's propaganda pot. So I challenge him. He doesn't have 14 police officers around him. He can check it, unless he didn't read their statement very well, or he decided to read it mischievously. He doesn't have 14.
But do you have an idea?
He's the one mentioning a figure, and I'm telling he doesn't have 14. I'm challenging him.
Okay. Maybe you have a contrary figure.
You should check. He doesn't have 14. Even the NPP's majority statement, do the arithmetic.
Right.
He doesn't have 14.
How many?
Making noise 14. He doesn't have 14. I'm telling you, it's a lie. He doesn't have 14.
Okay.
You understand? Now, the second part of it is that don't come and create the impression as if all of a sudden Bagbin has decided to ascend the position of number 3 of the state. The constitution has made it very clear. It has stated it there in black and white. You don't need any form of interpretation. That's in order of governance. You have the president, in the absence you have the vice president, you have the speaker of parliament.
Right.
So if it's called the number 3 office, why would you want to create an impression as if all of a sudden the speaker of parliament or Bagbin is the one who is calling himself a number 3?
He called himself number 3.
Isn't he number 3 of the land? Isn't he a number 3 of the land?
Is that true or false?
Is it just false?
Is he number 3 of the land?
But why will you repeat it? See, this is something everyone is. From the two, we know that is number 3.
Right.
So how is that being power drag? How is that being power drag?
Asking the majority leader.
You are number 1 in this country.
You have that video saying you are number 1 in this country.
How is that being power drag?
What's your number?
What's your number? How is that being power drag? So just the next issue has to do with the fuel hikes. I thought by now most of the taxes we had introduced or components of taxes we had introduced into the fuel prices or fuel price composition would have taken them out by now, because most of them were mature, like the Esla and the rest were maturing until the NPP came and decided to extend most of them beyond the number of years we plan to offset most of these debts. So that is why we are experiencing most of the fuel hikes. Now, fuel hikes or fuel price is determined by three major things. That is the international price market. Then you have the forex exchange, and we have our own taxes we introduce into the market. Now, for the first one, we do not control that, which is the international price market. There's no way we can control that. The next thing we control is what we call the forex. And once your forex is not stable, you have fuel prices dancing left and right at any point in time and anywhere and at any juncture. You understand? So if today the cedi depreciates, of course you have fuel prices going up, whether you like it or not. Tomorrow, if you have the cedi further depreciating because they buy these products in dollars, so the forex, of course, will determine how the fuel prices will increase. The next thing also has to do with the same taxes which are still in there, which we felt that by this time we should have taken most of those taxes out, because those taxes were geared towards servicing some specific or particular debt. It wasn't a general tax that was supposed to run for the rest of the life of the country. It was time bound, and to the extent that most of these taxes have reached their time of maturity, by this time we should be rounding them up and be thinking of actually scrapping them, so that that burden that was, you know, imposed on the ordinary citizen by now would have gone down. Now, of course, there's this politicking about I buy it at gold and gold is not increasing it and all of that. I remember this same argument came up, and there was the analysis that the mere fact that gold is holding on to its margins, of course, gold is being controlled by government, because government is the largest shareholder of gold. So I mean, of course, it also has in its corporate governance structure, government is able to determine how the company, of course, will be governed. So if you have a company like Goil, and because we all want to, or they want to score cheap political points, you decide to hold on to them making some margins per their governance structure or what other companies are making. Of course, you can score cheap political points by telling us that, oh, they should go and buy it at Goil, they should go and buy it at Goil, they should go and buy it at Goil. But it will get to a time that Goil will start registering or start experiencing serious debt, and the company will run down. We've seen so many state companies run down because of some of these things. We have, I don't want to mention it, but we all know most of these state companies, because we want to use them for our own governance propaganda. We try as much as possible to reduce their profit margin so that things are cheaper there. Then we can direct people that this is what government is doing. But if Goil is allowed to even operate as an independent institution, even though government is the largest shareholder, also go out there and compete with the market, trust me, Goil will not be selling at that low price. You understand? But of course, that is the price Goil is selling. But it doesn't also defeat the fact that as it stands today, there's a part of the country that is buying fuel at a very high price. Total is gone up. Other OMCs have gone up.
Which OMC?
Total has gone up. You have
That's the only thing that has gone up. That's the
Total has gone up. Other OMCs have gone up.
Which other?
You understand? I don't want to mention other OMCs. There are some OMCs, maybe for their own. It will look as though you are trying not to let people go and buy fuel there. I don't want to let it look like. I don't want to let it look like I'm giving them bad publicity. You understand?
But you are giving Total bad publicity.
Over the weekend, it's Total's price that has been advertised all over.
The propaganda that Felix did with Total.
But the truth
now,
is,
yes or no, has it gone up? It has gone up.
That's when the increment is done. Some of the pumps would wait for a while before they make adjustment and all of it. It doesn't mean that it has not been increased.
Yes.
So I mean, that is to tell a while that it doesn't mean that if Goil is keeping their prices at where it used to be or where it was, doesn't mean that the prices have not been increased. But you can go ahead.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that fuel prices haven't gone up. It has gone up. You understand? Like, I mean, like any other commodity, today if cement goes up, we will make noise that cement has gone up. But it doesn't mean that cement prices everywhere has gone up. Now you have so many companies. You have Jata, you have Gasem, you have Wasem. But if Gasem goes up, we will make noise that price of cement has gone up. But it doesn't mean that across board it's gone up. And that doesn't mean that we cannot cry why prices of cement has gone up or why price of fuel has gone up. And we've told you that it's only going up due to two components. That is the taxes and the forex. And not until Bawumia goes to arrest the dollar, like he said he had arrested it and locked it and given the key to the IGP, making all form of, you know, jokes about everything. Until they do that, we will continue to have fuel prices going up. In fact, the fuel prices is about to break the 8 even before any of their parliamentary candidates. Currently at 7. I'm sure very soon to get to 8, then to break the 8 for them. Then we'll see. The next thing to follow will be the dollar, because the dollar now today is at 6.5 going to 6.6. I think somewhere last week when we started the year it was around 6.45, but as of today it's 6.5 and going. And you see, what people don't know is that the forex price and the fuel price move together, whether you like it or not. One does not leave the other behind. If fuel prices goes up, the next thing that follows is the forex. If forex moves forward, the next thing that follows is the fuel price. So not until we are able
static under your watch. I mean, we experienced a similar
that's why we are saying that. Let's look at what government can control.
Okay.
That is the forex, and those are the taxes. Yes, we introduced some taxes to the fuel component or the fuel composition, and we gave reasons why those taxes were introduced. And those taxes were supposed to have matured or to have stopped somewhere next 2 years. I think somewhere 20. I stand to be correct. I think they were supposed to end in the next 2-3 years. I think ESTA was supposed to go 10 years or so, but MPP came and decided to extend it to 30 years. You understand? So if we introduce a tax to try as much as possible to reduce a particular or a specific debt, and we knew that after this number of years, after we finish service, after we have finished servicing most of this debt, then we can now take off that company and the good people will be relieved. But to the extent that you've come, everyone were introducing it, they spoke against it. They spoke heavily against it. But we spoke about why fuel prices were high. Nanado spoke against fuel prices being high. But what have we seen today? Nothing new. And given the golden opportunity to take off some of these taxes and even let the people have some sigh of relief, at least let us congratulate, let us be happy that you have walked the talk and you just didn't talk and sleep after the talk. But what do we see? They are continuing with the taxes without any form of justification, because obviously it doesn't look like we should be continuing most of these taxes. Then of course they are unable to arrest the dollar. So those are the reasons why fuel prices are going up. But not until we are able to control these two main components. Then of course the third one that will hit it, fuel price will keep going up. So I mean, it's sad that today, 2022, the new year, just 2 weeks into the new year, we've been visited by increase in fuel prices. And if you look at how fuel prices increased in the last 2021, it's almost every week fuel price, almost every weekend, every 2 weeks, almost every other week fuel prices were going up. So if we are not careful and we continue in that trend, then what it will mean is that by the end of this year, we'll be buying fuel at a very high price.
Right, thank you so much, Usman, for your submission. About fuel prices on the high. Total has already increased it at the pump, and you know, as we can all see, you are seeing that. Well, it depends on where you buy yours, because oil has not increased. Other, you know, pumps
OMCs,
and
yes.
like OMCs have not increased theirs and all of
He
that.
uses,
But is that really the
he
matter?
uses coupon, uses the
That-
oil coupon. So he doesn't even buy. He uses the coupon.
That the fact that
Do you
other
see
OMCs
the coupon? You also use coupon because you told me you use you buy from them.
I drive straight to oil and buy my
Yes.
fuel. I don't
So
use coupon.
I think yes,
Yes.
it's largely true that the when you want to determine the oil prices, you look at the forex, you look at the taxes, you look at the price at the world market, and the fourth one, which is the cost of storage, is also part of it. You put everything together, so 4 components that you use to determine the prices. You see, he said something which is very, very important. He said, GOIL is trying to at least lower the prices so that Ghanaians will be able to get it. But if they're not careful, they will run into debt. That is before the regulation. That is before when what Rawlings did with Tema Oil Refinery. When they bring it, they reduce it and they push it, and they piled a lot of debt there, to the extent that Tema Oil Refinery, even when they were leaving power, there was a component of Tema Oil Refinery debt that we were paying. You see, that should tell you that GOIL is not run like that.
Right.
GOIL is a state-owned, it's largely state-owned, but it has private shareholders. These private shareholders will not sit down and see that they are running at a loss, and will still allow GOIL to do that. We started the regulation in 2015. In 2015, we said if it goes up at the world market, it can go up here. If it goes down at the world market, it goes down here.
Right.
At a point in time, we were 143, 147 under the Kufuor regime. It was reduced, and we're buying it at 3 cedis. We're buying a gallon at 3 cedis, 20 pesos.
Okay.
You came in, move it to 16 cedis. Today, if it is around 24 cedis or 25 cedis, check the level.
A gallon, 24 cedis.
Yes.
More than that.
Around 25 cedis, 26 cedis.
Something now.
No, depending on where you're buying it, as I said.
I tell you what, it was about 40 something Ghana cedis.
40 cedis, no. Gallon has never been to 40 cedis. Don't do that. Don't do that. You see, I think, as he said, total has gone up. This thing was started by Felix Kwacho Fosu on his social media. That single picture was shared by every single autopilot NDC social media communicator.
Right.
So
that only alone. When I was coming, you told me we'll discuss this. I passed through Mile 7. Frames. They are selling at 6.43.
I know Frames.
Frames is selling at 6.43.
Marketing strategy.
Whilst GOIL is even doing 6.65. I bought it yesterday at Soto Mambo. 6.65. Even today, it is still at 6.65. Frames is doing 6.43. So if Frames is doing 6.43, you want me to go to Total and buy it at an exorbitant price? And this is something that was started in 2015, that they can sell it at any price they want, so that they are able to beat the
total as of today is 6.990.
But he said 7.
No, 6.990.
So 6.65.
That's for, I think, super.
Yes. So 6.65.
Total Excellium, how much is it?
Frames.
Total Excellium is 7.150.
Isn't that full?
So is that what everyone buys? Is that what everyone buys? It is not fuel. Okay. So when you check Binap is doing 6.43.
Okay.
And I saw one when I was coming, Oil Space, they are doing 6.48.
But well, you know.
So I'm saying that when it has not gone up as he's talking about, because the MPA has not announced any upward adjustment.
But well, if that's the argument, you know that sometimes when prices of fuel is increased, some of the OMCs wait for some time before they make changes at the pump.
Yes, because they have stakeholders, they have shareholders, they have everyone. They will sit down and do the computations. After doing the computations, if they feel that you want to move it up, they do that. If they want to bring it down, they bring it down.
So this is what
even GOIL, government cannot direct GOIL on what to do, because there are people who have invested their money there.
You recall that when it was increased some time ago, it was around 6.990.
Yes.
And
Total was the first company to come down.
They had to reduce it because at a point GOIL also increased it to 6.990 and then later
so they have all reduced it. This is something that we are all enjoying. But so the best thing is that if you see only one company increasing it, you don't make a generalization.
Okay, so this is what IES has to say. 4 prices.
These are private institutions. Yes.
4 prices to
tell people that this is a private institution projecting. People of course. Osman's own small boy is there.
I have a friend who is there. He called me Dad Mohammed.
This is a very serious institute that does analysis.
Let's also put it on record that IES has always been making
IES came into force when NPP came into government. Yes. No. IES started when?
No. Check.
IES started when?
No.
But they have their voice under this government.
I want to correct.
They have their voice under this government.
I want to correct an
IES
impression. IES has been in place even when NDC was bad. Check when IES was formed.
Of course,
you can form it. They lost their voice. Like Mensa Thompson. No. I don't think any media house will call Mensa Thompson to even discuss anything again. Because there's someone who lied through his teeth and came and begged people that he lied.
Very well. So let me just read what IES has been saying so that you respond to that one too. He says, fuel prices in Ghana are likely to see an increase at the pumps between 30 Ghana pesos to 40 Ghana pesos per litre. The Institute of Energy Security has predicted the increase is coming on the back of 7.42% increase in the price of Brent crude, the 9.46% increase in the price of gasoline, and the 8.52% increase in gas oil price, and the 0.3% depreciation of the local currency against the United States dollar. The imminent prices increases may force some oil marketing companies, OMCs, across the country to sell gasoline and gas oil at 7 cedi per litre at the pumps for the first time. The IES warned in its projection for the January 2022 second pricing window, prices of fuel at local pumps across the country had already saw increment within the window under assessment. Petroleum product prices per litre rose from circa 6.5650 cedis on average at most pumps to reach 6.70% within the window under review. It goes on and on and
they
on.
have not said anything
this is what they are saying
from what we're saying.
But what we are saying,
when we all started building our point, we said that there are 3 or 4 components.
But it has already happened.
So if the Brent it has gone up still over there,
right,
they can forecast and say that it can go up in this country, and that's not. There's nothing wrong with that. But when he started his submission, he said it that the cost of the at the international market, again the taxes and the forex, and to some large extent cost of storage. That's all. So if they have seen all this, they have monitored from the international market and felt that because they have monitored from the international market, they felt that there's the possibility that it will be moved up is very high. They have not said anything.
But that is what we are seeing already. I mean, we are seeing total. I don't want with an increment of whatever percent, and now we are buying it at 6.990 at total.
As politicians, it will get to a time where people will not take us serious again.
Right.
When we do politics with oil prices, because I remember Atamels in 2007 when he said. In 2008, after President Kufuor reduced, listen. After President Kufuor reduced it, he said, he came and increased it about 30%. So whoever tells you that when we come, we will not increase it, is lying to you because you don't control it.
Right.
If you don't control it, how do you ensure stability? We have see even relative stability because even the forex, we pick it at 4.4.
Right.
5 years on, it is still 6.2. You picked it at
6.2.
How much is it?
6.5.
So 6.5.
Oh, it's 6.5 already.
Yeah.
I need to go and change some dollars.
So 6.5. You picked it at 4.4.
Right.
4.4 5 years ago. When you picked it at 1.2. Under Kufuor, you picked it at 1.2, sent it to 4.4. We have picked it to 4.4, and it is now 6.4. 6.4. Look at the rate.
Right.
It will tell you that
we are better managers of the forex. We are better. But we are better managers of the forex.
We did 8 years.
Because if you check,
yes, listen.
The rate of depreciation. If you were in government, I'm sure we will listen to me.
If we did 8 years and 3 cities was added to the dollar, it will have 10 cities. Let's do a simple mathematics. You said you gave it as 1.2.
Yes.
And we took it to 4.4.
Yes.
clearly that's an increment of what, 3 cedis.
3 cedis. Also. Yes.
And you took it at 4.4, and you've done just 6.4. You've done just 5 years, and it's at 6.4. So that's 5 years. Yes. If that's then mean that the other 3 years that is left, you will go more than what we've done.
How can we go more than that?
It's already done 2 cedis 50 pesos.
So 2 cedis, no, it's
2 cedis 10 pesos.
It's 2 cedis.
Wait, that's 2 cedis 10 pesos. In 5 years,
done 3. Just within 5 years, you have done that.
So the other 3 years left, you are likely to go another 150 pesos.
If you were in power and you added the 3 cedis that you added, it will have gone to 9 cedis by now.
The same thing. The same thing has to do with the debt. The same thing has to do with the debt. Now let 100 and something, and they are taking it to 300.
Let's get
so they are going to triple everything.
That's the
125 billion. Today is that 300 and something billion,
including your interest that you accumulated over the years. We accumulated the interest of the one.
Don't forget. Today, which is telling us you won't be able to borrow in the international market.
Very well.
I think they should be concerned about that. That's why they are trying to fall down the e-levy.
Can you step down for me?
Yes, what I will only say is that yes, this is something that we don't have large control over it. Right. But the forex, I am telling you that we have arrested it because if you check the cumulative depreciation of the cedi, right, the only thing that we can do to ensure that the cedi will not depreciate at a higher speed is the one district, one factory that we're doing. We have over 100 because we have a lot of companies that will do import substitute, so that you will not be able to change a lot of dollars and go and buy something from outside. We'll have import substitute. By the time we will be done, I'm sure we'll move the economy from the import driven to an export driven economy, and that will make our forex also stand and be stable for some time.
Right, thank you so much, all, for coming. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you, Usman, for coming. I'm so grateful for your time, my brother. This was time will allow us on the program. Make a time with us, same time tomorrow. My name is Justice Appiah, and the show has been Hot News. Goodbye.